And we are live. Hey, mystery and thriller friends. We are back. It is Mystery Monday. And because Mondays can be murder, I am here to make your week a little less painful with my honored guest, the incredible Yasmin Angoe, who is back with this exclusive sneak peek preview into her third Nena Knight book. It Ends with Night. Yasmin, welcome back. Tell us about this book.
Yeah, thank you for having me back, Sarah, for this third go around. So It Ends with Night is the third of the Nena Knight trilogy. And so now Nena is in a new position, one that she did not want to be in if you have been keeping up with her story. And so she has a lot of conflicts and conflicting thoughts going on in her mind. If she can really hold this position, it's a position of leadership. If she can mine this, well, it's about minds too, but if she can kind of like maneuver this minefield of pun intended of different things that are going to be coming at her. And so now she is on a new mission, and the mission is not a typical dispatch. It is one that is more political, and so she's going to have to kind of see her way through that with her new team. And she also has a new team.
We are going to need you to spill all the tea, Yasmin. We need you to spill all the tea. I can't wait to get into every delicious detail. But first, I just want to welcome everyone because we are broadcasting live to 6 different destinations across Facebook and YouTube. So no matter where y'all are watching from, you know you're in the right place. This is the right time. If you've been here before, you know the drill. And if you're new, welcome, friends. We're so happy to have you. Here's the drill. If you have any questions for Yasmin about her Nena Knight series, about what she's working on next, she's going to give us a little tiny taste. Just the questions going in the comments. I'll get them right over to you. They are already streaming in. Oh, hey, Kelly Garrett has joined the chat.
Ooh, it's my girl Kelly.
Incredible best-selling author Kelly Garrett. She says, I am here, and both y'all's lipstick is popping.
Thank you.
Kelly, I logged on and I was like, Yasmin, hello, lips. Oh, gorgeous. So great to host Yasmin again. And Kelly, was so great to host you. And Like a Sister came out. I can't wait to read your next book, lady. Mm-hmm. Renee joining us from Southeast Florida says, hi, Sarah and Yasmin. Hi, Renee. Anissa Joy in the house from South Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina.
Greenville, all right. You're just up the street. Well, maybe like a couple hours, but that's okay.
She says, hello, Sarah and Yasmin. I met Yasmin at M. Judson in Greenville.
Yeah, sure did. Yay. Hello there. Thanks for coming.
So good to have you here, Anissa. Erin, welcome to the conversation, saying, hi, Yasmin and Sarah. I can't wait for the last Nena book.
I love Erin. Hi, Erin.
Hi, Erin. Renee saying, I'm ready for book 3. Yasmin, congratulations.
Thank you.
Kelly's given us the hello. And Renee's got some questions. Let's dive on in. She wants to know, Yasmin, do you have another series coming out next or a standalone? What's going on?
Yeah, Renee said, I'm not waiting a moment longer for that. 4 minutes in. It is a standalone. I had to cleanse my palate a little bit from the series because, I just love this Nena Knight series so much that I couldn't think of anything else for the meantime. So it is a standalone thriller. It's going to be more of a psychological thriller, and it's going to be based in South Carolina. It's going to be a small coastal town. So, some murderings and some happenings are going to be going on in that little town of theirs that they've got.
Ooh, well, I can't wait to read that, Yasmin, and to see, because Yasmin's got a lot of tricks up her sleeve. This is a woman who is not a one trick. She's not a one trick pony. She's got a lot to share. And so, Yasmin, I can't wait to read that. Gabrielle joining us from Houston. Hi, Gabrielle. Oh my goodness, we got Tracy Clark joining the chat. Hi, Tracy. I am such a Tracy Clark stan.
Me too.
Yay, I can't wait. Oh, Renee says, y'all, what is your favorite tea?
That's a good question. Wait, do we mean like literal tea, or do you mean like,
you know what, Yasmin, let's take it both ways. So first, are you drink tea, you coffee girl, you tea girl?
I am a tea girl. That's one of the things. Every morning I have to have my hot tea, and I drink it, well, I guess it's half and half, I guess, and sugar and everything like that. So I take it. That's how I've always learned to drink my tea, with cream and all that stuff in it. So it's more cream and sugar than it is actual tea.
Okay, perfect. Now, do you have any tea for us that is hotter than the surface of the sun? What can you tell us about Nena Knight #3? So first of all, I got some questions. So Yasmin, how did you decide that this book was going to be a 3-book series? And I love Nena. I just have a feeling, will she come back? Because I feel like she will, but maybe that's just me manifesting it because I love Nena.
Yeah, no, that's not you just manifesting, because I love Nena too, and I just can't let it end. So even if if the series doesn't go on beyond 3, I just feel like there's going to be moments where Nena or some of her friends might pop up in a book or whatever, and then you'll be like, hey girls, hey, that's Nena, and stuff like that. But I mean, I would love to go back to the world of Nena and explore some of the other stories, some of the other characters that have their stories. I think that the story of Noble and Delphine, and how the whole creation of the tribe came to be, is like such an interesting story that I actually started. I just didn't know where I was going to place it in. It was, between the second and the third one. So there's that. And then, there's Kegel and his whole, deal that he's got going on. And then Georgia, of course, how does she fare? Especially if it comes time for like college and stuff like that. So there's a lot. And even with Nena, like there's a lot. Nena and Aline, there is a lot there that I could go with. So one way or the other, like Nena is always gonna like come through.
Okay, Erin is saying, she says, ooh, I think Ellen needs a book, Yasmin. I definitely would read the early days of Noble and Delphine.
It's serious. It's serious. I mean, I have pages on it. I just couldn't fit it into They Come at Night. So I just held it, and I was like, you know what? That requires its own. Even the, Paul, Paul, the villain that we all love to hate, from the first one, even he has, an origin story that kind of gets you to like how he became, the way that he was and stuff like that. So yeah, I think about all those things.
We are thinking about all those things, and we're so excited to see what you do with us next, what you serve up to us next, Yasmin, because there's so much here to work with. And we have a question from Amanda, who has submitted in advance. She wants to know, does she need to read the first 2 in order to read this one, or can she jump right in?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think you can jump right in, because I think I give you a little enough nuggets for you to kind of glean what has happened in the past. But I definitely would want you to go back and start with Nena's origin story in Her Name Is Night, because I think that really settles you into her character and why she is, the way that she is, and how she came to be an assassin, because that's always something that we want to know, is why would somebody be an assassin? But yes, you could definitely start, wherever you want. You can jump into 3, and you'll just, you'll be getting some good parts of her, but then go back and read the others as well.
Absolutely. Yes, because Nena's story of origin is so unique and so painful, and I think that helps us to understand who she is and how she got to be here. John joining us from Northeast Ohio. Hi, John. So great to have you. And Nisa wants to know, which character changed the most from when you first started to writing the book, Yasmin?
That's a good question.
That is a good question, because we got a lot here to work with.
Yeah. Which character?
And Nisa's a librarian, so she's coming in with the good questions.
Right, she really is. That's goodness, because she has me stumped. Who changed the most? I guess I would really have to say Nena changed the most. in her story arc, and then her actual character, as you know, I was trying to create the character because she didn't start off as she is now. She started off, she was going to be the crime boss of a crime organization. So the tribe was actually going to be a crime organization other than what they're doing now. So that is the change that she had, and how her whole character arc would be, her backstory and all of that stuff kind of changed. And everyone, I think, as I'm like, Kegel wasn't intended to be as prominent as he is, but he was just so funny when he came into the conversation, into the story and everything. He was just like, he was cracking me up. And so I was like, I just have to keep him. And everybody else, and Aline too, because I liked her energy. So they became more more prominent in the story than I had originally intended.
That is so interesting to me. So were you actually cracking up when you were writing, Kegel? Were you
Yes,
were you laughing at your
the
desk?
stuff just came out, and I was like, it was like I had multiple personalities. I was like, where did this come from? And then like when I go back and I reread, because sometimes I'll go and I'll reread some things, and I'll just be like, I can't believe he said that, and it just tickles me. And then I like I'm patting myself on the back because I'm like, oh girl, you did good. Like, where did you come up with that? Hell if I know. I don't know. It just came. And so I must have channeled somebody. Yeah. I don't know where he came from.
Yasmin, I love knowing this about you. This is so cool. So let's get a peek into your process. So while you are sitting there, oh my gosh, I have so many questions I can't wait to get to you. And I'm going to get to all of them, y'all, I promise. But Yasmin, give us a peek into your process. So while you're creating these characters who are surprising you, who are changing in ways you didn't expect to, who are cracking you up, what is your process? Do you sit and write every single day? Do you just write when the spirit moves you? Is it a certain number of hours, a certain number of words? Tell us all the things.
Yeah, it's definitely when the spirit moves me. I can't write every day, though I would love to say that I do. It just would not feel organic, and natural to me. And I feel like the writing will be flat and boring. So I write when I feel inspired, which is, a lot of times it's every day, but it's like in spurts. So if I get that feeling, then I have to like put that down, and then that will get me like going for a while. And then, it's gone. And then, I'll just do whatever. When it comes closer to deadlines and things, and I'm, behind or whatever, then I will like kind of make myself sit down and really kind of think about what scene. I don't write in order. I think I've told you this before. So it's, whatever scene that, is like in my head and like I'm really thinking about, then that's the scene that, I will work on and try to like bang that out.
Ooh, okay. I love this. Okay. Ooh, Renee says not to rush you, but she said, did you ever want to be an assassin? I'm happy you're an author.
I can't answer that, Renee.
Ooh.
People can't answer things like that, but
Maybe she was an assassin. We don't know.
You just never know. Like, how do I know how to do the? No, I don't know. No,
I have
but I mean,
wondered that, Yasmin.
I find it intriguing. Yeah, you have you like, I find those kinds of positions intriguing. Just like writing villains is like my absolute favorite thing, and people who work in shades of gray, in gray areas, because I think that makes more of a compelling read, things that you can kind of relate to, but then you're not supposed to like really be down for. You shouldn't be down for an assassin, but you can kind of be down for an assassin who has a code, who only kills other people that are doing bad things, kind of like John Wick, I guess. So I love a John Wick because he is an assassin, but they have a strict code, and they kind of keep within their own. So I like those kinds of things. Yeah.
Ooh, well, Yasmin, I interviewed an actual assassin right here on the show, a Navy SEAL assassin. And not only was he an assassin for the Navy SEAL for many decades, but then he became the designer of the Navy SEAL Assassin School, the training course for assassins. I feel like you and I need to go take that.
I totally agree with you. Like, but wait, are they gonna make us like crawl through mud, like, and do all that stuff? Because I don't know. that.
Yeah.
I guess.
Can we
Oh well,
can we get
I'll do it.
the assassin VIP experience?
Right. I'll put my hair in braids. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Oh my God, I love it. And Nisa wants to know which scene was the hardest one to write in the series and why?
Sure. Definitely the hardest scenes to write were in the first book.
Wasn't the basement scene?
The basement scene wasn't as bad as because by then, I knew like she was about to get her like true, comeuppance or whatever. But it was the village scenes when she,
Yep.
lost her father and her siblings. Spoiler alert, sorry for those, but you should still go back and read it. And when she was harmed, right? Those were the hardest scenes for me to write because I really had to think about how I wanted to write it, how I was going to present it in a way that, was respectful enough, but then was also true to the scene and true to the character. So that took a lot of thinking. And then it took a lot of going back and rereading and like just doing a lot of soul searching to make sure that it wasn't gratuitous and stuff like that. So any of those situations, even when I'm like, killing whomever in a book, I'm thinking about, how do I make it this way where it doesn't seem like it's like gratuitous, but it really kind of like grabs you and you're just like, clutch your pearls and, if you're down, clutch your pearls and stuff like that. So yeah,
Well,
but those were the hardest scenes.
I was clutching. I think about you all the time, Yasmin, because one of the things you said when I interviewed you at Thriller Fest last year was that you had found, one of the things that surprised you was that you had found that thriller writers are the nicest people who kill people on the page. And I think about that and it cracks me up all the time.
Yes.
So I absolutely love that. So since we have Tracy Clark in the audience, let's take a peek at the amazing words of praise that Tracy Clark had to share about It Ends with Night. So I'm going to pop this up so we can all read it together because I absolutely loved this. And she said, I'm just getting it up here. She said, Yasmin Angoe returns with both barrels blazing in It Ends with Night. Nena Knight is such a well-crafted character, and Angoe's writing is an absolute joy. You need some pretty strong writer mojo to get readers to root for an assassin, and Angoe pulls it off. I truly hope It Ends with Night is not the end of this wonderful series. Me too, Tracy Clark. And Tracy is, of course, the best-selling author and winner of the Sue Grafton Memorial Award. Now, Yasmin, I have always cheered for Nena Knight, and I cheer for her, I think, because I know from book one what she's gone through to become who she is. How do you craft a character? Like, that's what resonates with me. But how did you, as the creator of Nena Knight and the creator of this entire world, how did you get us to root for her? Did you ever worry that we wouldn't because she is an assassin?
Well, that was my initial, so that was the challenge that I gave to myself. And it's a challenge that I always give to myself in any of the books when it comes to Nena or it comes to, who's going to be her foe or whatever. Like, what is it that I really want the reader to get from them, and how do I get the reader to hate them if they're supposed to be hated, but then also they have a reasoning for the most part that you can kind of be like, yeah, that kind of makes sense or whatever. So I take a long time with my characters, thinking about who they are and what it is that they really want, their motivation, what drives them. What is their way of thinking that is screwed or not. With Nena, I loved her from the very beginning, even if she was going to become a crime boss, because she was going to be this woman in this powerful position that you never see women in, really. And that was what I led with, and all that other stuff came after the fact. Like, she's in this position, but most people might not choose this position. So why would she choose this position? And what has happened to her? Because I know her character, what would drive her to the point where, she's okay with this job of mine of killing people for assignment, So So those are the, thoughts that I came up, that I had as I was writing her. And honestly, it was just a fluid thing how she is, right? It wasn't very, very purposeful. And I knew that if I could kind of understand why she does some of the things that she does, why any of them could, then the reader would get that as well through the writing and be able to vie for her when they know that they shouldn't, with an assassin. And I definitely had to give her a code, because I want her not necessarily to be likable, but,
Ooh.
to be someone who's understandable in a way. Yeah.
Oh, I love that you sat down and thought, okay, she needs a code of conduct, of honor, of a rule playbook, because she's playing a game of life
Mhm.
that, none of us are. So I love
Right.
that you had that conscious intention. That's so cool to know.
Yeah.
Renee is saying, Tracy, those are such incredible words about Yasmin's work. They really are,
Mhm.
Tracy. And I love how she honed in on joy, that
Mhm.
she said that your words are a joy to read, because they truly are. And that's so beautiful that that you honed in on that, Tracy. And Renee, is resonating with you as well. Renee wants to know, Yasmin, so since you've just shared that you start with your characters and you spend so much time developing them.
Mhm.
Renee wants to know, what helps you to think about your characters or scenes in the best manner? Like, is
Mhm.
it doodling? Is it walking? Is it listening to music, playing sports, meditating, yoga, dreams? This is such a great question.
Yeah, that is a great question. Mostly it's music. I have like a soundtrack for, each of the books. And I have like, a certain like theme song or whatever for certain characters, for certain scenes, the whatever song that I feel like really kind of shows the feeling of that scene, then I have that. I think Nina and Court, her love interest, they even have a song that I think I put it in the first book. But like that's the song that I always play when I know that they're about, to be together, and what kind of vibe that they're going to have or whatever. When Nina is about to get to work and like do her stuff, I think I might have put it. I did have it in a draft, but like she'll pop in her earbuds and she's listening to Drake's nonstop because she's going and doing all this other stuff and it amps her up. So it's mostly music that gets me thinking of certain characters. I could be listening to anything and I'll be like, oh, that song reminds me of, that song sounds best like, and then, I'll Shazam it and then pull it up on my Apple. Sometimes I could be, watching something and I'm like, huh, that's similar. That sounds, or that looks like something of a character of mine. And that kind of gets me to thinking about other aspects of my character. So it really comes from everything, not yoga or sports, because I am allergic to exercise. I let everybody know that. So never yoga, never sports.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. And I like that. And it's so true, because when you listen to, when you're listen to a certain piece of music, it makes you feel a certain way.
Mhm.
And I remember I was a Scandal stan. I loved me some Scandal. And anytime there was this piece of music that you knew that Kerry Washington was, and you knew it was going to be a romantic scene with her and the president. And it's so true. And it was, as soon as you heard the first strains of that music,
You're like, they're about to get it on. All right, me getting ready.
exactly. Let's get it on. All right, y'all. Yasmin is here with us tonight, giving us the sneak peek 1 week before the book drops. So you can pre-order from our favorite woman-owned independent bookstore. That is, of course, Murder by the Book, y'all. So pre-order now. We are team pre-order. And no matter where you are watching from, you can click and order this link right here and grab your copy of It Ends with Night. Then let us know what you think of this big finale, or is it? I think Nina will be back. I just have a feeling in my bones.
In
But
your bones.
I feel it in my bones. Get your hands on this book, y'all, so that you can tell us what you think about Nina. Number 3, It Ends with Night. Here is that link. Click and pre-order. Let's get it out. Get the vote out. Hashtag team pre-order. Oh, Renee has a follow-up question. Yasmin, do you listen to music all the time when you write? And when you read other books?
Yeah. So no, not all the time. Sometimes, and then most of the other time, I'll probably have the TV on, something that I've seen before, and it'll just be running because I need noise when I'm writing. I can't have complete silence, but I can't work in a coffee shop or anything like that because then I'll sit and I'll look at the people and listen to their. I'll be like ear hustling on their conversations. So I'm not a writer who can do anything in the coffee shop except drink coffee or tea, actually, and eat the food and eavesdrop on other people. But at home, I'll have, I'll just find something hopefully that's a series that'll keep going on, and then that background noise helps me to kind of focus. That way when I need like a minute, then I can just go and like look at the TV like for a second and then get right back to it.
I love that. Erin wants to know, Yasmin, who is your least favorite character in this entire series?
Ooh, my least favorite character. That's I really didn't like the general from the second one. Yeah, I didn't like him very much at all. And then there's someone in this third one that comes that she encounters, that Nena encounters, and his name is Francis. And so I don't like him so much either. Like he's not a great guy. He's a jerk.
Yasmin, Anissa wants to know, which scene was the hardest one to write? Oh, we got to this one. Okay, we got to that one. That would be the scene in the villages. Renee wants to come with us to assassin camp. you are in. We're all going to assassin camp.
Yes, email your friend, the person that you interviewed the other day ago. Okay, tell him we're there.
We're there, but only if we can take showers and also I need good food. I mean, I can't suffer too much. Yeah. Jennifer, welcome to the conversation. She's saying it's such a pleasure to meet you, Yasmin. We're so happy you're here, Jennifer. I want to get to some more of this amazing praise. Kirkus Reviews says, look out, watch your back, Liam Neeson. This Avenger is tough. Mm-hmm. I love that you were able to write a tough woman who we are all cheering from. I feel like that alone is an incredible accomplishment in a time when we can be very hard on strong female characters. So well done, Yasmin. You did it. That's amazing. Gregg Hurwitz had some words of praise as well. Let's take a peek at those. The incredible Gregg Hurwitz, who is the bestselling author of the Orphan X series. He says, Nena Knight can cover Orphan X's 6 o'clock any day. Knight reinvents herself. I'm going to pull this up so we can all take a peek. And he said, what he deems you, this is my favorite part of this. He says, one of Thrillerdom's rising stars, Yasmin Angoe paints Knight with nuance, strength, and grace. These books are hot and read fast. Yasmin, I would get that tattooed on my face if someone said that.
I know that. I mean, I really appreciate, what he said, and even David Baldacci in the first one. But with Gregg and the Orphan X series, I hadn't read that until after I had written Her Name is Knight, and then one of my friends was like, oh, you know what, your book is like the female version of Orphan X. And I was like, what is that? And so I picked one up, the first one, and I devoured it, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's like the white Nena Knight, and and I just really loved it, and they're just so similar in their behavior. If they were in a room together, there would just be no talking because neither of them really talk. But they would get along famously. So I mean, I always was like, I would love to have Nena team up with Evan Smoke, and they have they just go and they just wreck some shop. And I think they would have a jolly time. And I don't know, Nena might have to get a hall pass from court because Evan Smoke, is I think he's hot too, the character. So it would just be such a great book. For them, they would just go, it would just be awesome.
I am here for
Killer
men
versions.
with
That's
killer
funny.
versions of Barbie and Ken. Heck yes, I am
Yes.
signing up for that. I would have a jolly time just eating my popcorn
Yes.
and reading that. Oh my God, yes.
That would be amazing. Yeah, that would be a wild ride for sure, I think.
I'm here for the wild ride. I am here for the wild ride. We have another question. I got to get to this because I'm dying to know. Yasmin, have you been approached for a TV series or movies yet? Because my God, you have to be. This is so cinematic.
Yeah, well, that was back a couple years ago. I was, and so it's been optioned, and they're been working on the script and everything, and now with the strike and everything, so, things have just stopped in Hollywood. So there's no new news that I have other than they have a working script, and hopefully they'll go forth and sell it.
And Yasmin, who would you see in that role? Who is your Nena?
Oh gosh, there's who is like, what? Like every like really like beautiful, strong Black woman that I see, I'm just like, she could be Nena and she could be Nena. So like I can't even like say who I would want. I know who I would want to be Paul.
Who's Paul?
Paul is Idris Elba, of course.
Oh God, yes, Idris.
Yes, and that's who I imagined when I was writing him, because Paul is a beautiful monster, and so he's a good-looking man who has a really like crappy heart. And so I thought that who is the best good-looking man who would be able to play like a bad guy to perfection? Like you just can't, you're always like trying to figure out, how can I like this guy because he's so beautiful, but then he acts so horribly. There's those, those making the reader have conflicts, right? And so yeah, so definitely him. And for Nena, like one person I like, I don't know her name, but I really liked, I don't know if you saw, I think it's The Sandman on Netflix, the series. And there's an actress who played, I think her character was called Black or whatever, but she played Death. And I thought that she was awesome. I thought that she would be like a great Nena if they, I don't know her name though. I should have looked it up so that I could sound really intelligent and tell you her name. But she was just my crush of the moment. So like I've got many Nenas.
And can we just also, while we're at it, find a role somewhere in here for Regé-Jean Page, just because we need that kind of eye candy. I mean, let's just find him a role too, okay?
Yeah, you know what? Funny thing is, someone actually floated his name when I was talking to like the producers and stuff, and they were like, they floated him for Court, I think. And I was like, really? I didn't for Court, I actually thought like Aldous Hodge. But I said, but hey, Regé, he is perfect for that. I mean, yes, he could. Yeah, absolutely, he could.
Find this man a role, Yasmin. Let him play Court. Let him play anyone.
Let him play any role he wants to play. Sure, come on through.
Come on through. Oh my gosh. Yasmin Angoe, thank you so much. You're getting so many hearts up on Facebook. Thank you all for all the hearts. It's so wonderful to see. Y'all, you know what to do. We are hashtag team pre-order. Let's get the pre-orders going. The book drops next week, and you can pre-order your copy tonight from our woman-owned independent bookstore. Let's go. Facebook or YouTube, no matter where y'all are watching from. Here is that link. Let's get it going. Get your hands on Nena Knight, number 3. It ends with night. Yasmin Angoe, thank you so much for coming back and giving us the scoop. It has been such a pleasure to host you for 3 books running, 3 years running, and I cannot wait to welcome you back for your standalone psychological thriller. Robin, welcome to the conversation. You are not too late. You can always rewatch. Let us know in the comments. We'll come back and answer. Just tag us. Let us know. Thank you for all the hearts and love, y'all. Thank you for being with us. That is a wrap. I'll be back at the top of the hour with Kara Rudis. Go get yourself a snack, get a drink. Come on back. Yasmin Angoe, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank y'all.